Hi guys, it's Penny. I'm a medicine woman and vitalist herbalist specializing in ancient medicine for modern illness. And if you'd like to learn more, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here to help. Welcome to the real deal, real people, real issues, real talk. And today we're talking cannabis with a mother, artist, singer, cancer survivor, founder of Women on Weed, and a longtime cannabis activist, Mary Jane Baker. And while we're waiting for her to click on here, I guess I'll just say it's a really powerful week this week. We have today kicking it off with the new moon solar eclipse. And I think here she is. I think it's going to work on point this time. Yay. And tomorrow, hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad it worked without a hitch.
All right. Right. I wasn't sure for a second. I tried to do it on my tablet because, I'm older, so technology is hard. And
Yeah.
the request came on my phone and and I was so confused. I was like, why won't it come on both? So I'm on my phone and it worked out though. Okay, so
So I actually someone actually gifted us uh, a stand. So I'm working with the new stand and I got my laptop out, so I'm a little bit like that today. But
oh
yeah,
nice
I
though.
what do you did you hear the intro?
I heard a bit of it. Yes, I was trying to get on, so I was kind
Okay.
of listening and trying to get my
So let's
request to go through.
um So we're going to talk cannabis today. I don't know if you want to start off at all talking about, I mentioned you're a cancer survivor.
Yes, thyroid cancer, and I found out like about Simpson oil like 3 months, 3 or 4 months after I had my surgery and did the radiation pill. But that was all I had to do for my cancer. I had what they call a mosquito bite in the cancer world. If you're going to get cancer, a papillary thyroid cancer is one of the easiest to treat
Right.
and has one of the highest survival rates. So that was 13 years ago. Shoot, this month, because it was in April 13 years ago. So they said that I can call myself completely cancer free after 10 years. So
Wow. It's crazy because I 13, well, it'll be 14 this August, but I had the same thing for almost 14 years ago.
mm.
Did, I mean, did you do what exactly did you do with your thyroid? Did you do any of the biopsy and did you do any of the the radioactive treatment, any of
Yes,
that?
yes, the R or the I-131 radioactive iodine pill. So actually, they kind of screwed up my diagnosis a little bit. I had my biopsy in 2002. No, hold on, let me just think. But no, yep, 2002. Because while I was pregnant with my daughter, they found it accidentally. When I was pregnant with my daughter and she was born in 2001, I got the sinus infection. It settled in a lymph node, like back here, that just became rock solid. So they wanted to look at that. And this was after she was born. So it was like early 2002. Um, and when they did the MRI to look at the, the lymph node, they saw this bright shining thing on my thyroid. It was really small. You couldn't even palpate it. I mean, it was very tiny. And but they sent me to get it checked out, and the ENT they sent me to said that he felt like we should do a biopsy. So I agreed to it, but later on read that a solitary calcified nodule in someone that does not have a history of goiters or thyroid irradiation as a child, to correct disorders, those should not be biopsied.
Right.
Oftentimes all of the cancer is in the calcification, and the biopsy will come back benign, as mine did. Papillary thyroid cancers are notoriously slow growing, and they're encapsulated, so they don't spread. They stay in one place and they grow really slowly. You could have papillary thyroid cancer for your entire life and never know it and die from something else, and they find it incidentally, at autopsy, like, oh wow, she had cancer too. So yeah, but if you biopsy it and break the capsule, then it can spread. So they watched my thyroid cancer not grow for 8 years while it spread into my lymph nodes. So when they finally, all these other things started popping up on my thyroid, I had started getting all these other growths, and one of them was getting big really fast. So it took them about a month to convince me to do another biopsy, because I was like, I'm pretty sure y'all screwed up the first one.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, I'll let you do it, because they assured me there was no calcification. It was just fluid in this one. And it came back with Hürthle cells, and Hürthle cells can be cancer or not cancer. So they said, now we have to go in, because we won't know for sure unless we actually go in and take out, at least the left side of your thyroid, because that's where things were popping up, was on the left half. So they went in, they took that, and they also harvested some lymph nodes. And because it came back in the lymph nodes and the calcification was the cancer, not the Hürthle cells, then they went back in and did a second surgery a month later and removed the rest of my thyroid. And then because you have to be starved for iodine before you take that radiation tablet. So I think I went like 6 weeks, with no thyroid and no TSA, synthetic thyroid hormones. I don't know, the Synthroid. So I felt really crappy. And then they gave me the radioactive iodine, and I had a total scan. It didn't show it anywhere else after I did the iodine. So, and like I said, I've been clear for 13 years this year. So, and congratulations, you're 14 years.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
Me, I haven't been back to the doctor since I was going for a rotor cuff tear that I diagnosed myself after 5 years after meeting a football player. Finally, they diagnosed me after I diagnosed myself. And then somehow they found a goiter the size of a grapefruit in my thyroid, and they biopsied it. And then, like, all of a sudden I have cancer and all this stuff. Well, I never went back. But I've
Right.
seen so many. If I would have went back, I'd be dead right now. And so many people, because of the fluoride in the water, like so many people will live like this the rest of their lives. And it is controllable with diet and lifestyle. You don't have to have that treatment. And yeah, I wanted to go deeper a little because the biopsies are horrible. I
Yeah.
mean, if you can avoid it, and like that iodine thing, that's not a good test. That has long lasting. Are you still taking FICO as a preventative?
No, I just, RSO.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I use
Uh,
FICO because
yeah.
I don't like.
I'm so used to calling it Simpson oil and RSO that when people say, I'm always like, no, I know. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's the other name. That's the other name, Jane.
Yeah.
So,
I think that, I don't like the use of the isopropyl, honestly. I know that I've been involved with a lot of the Phoenix Sears stuff and all of that, but, we know a better way now. So,
right.
The FICO is definitely what I recommend to people, not RSO,
Right.
not giving him props for what he's done, and you know what I'm saying, but we have a safer way now. We did all kinds of things learning what we learned right now, right?
Right.
So we made,
Right.
I remember making, like in Gatorade battles, making, the rosin, the live rosin and stuff like that,
Oh, I'm like, oh my God, I remember when the wax first came out, the BHO, and people were blowing it through PVC pipes. I was like, oh my God, what is lead? It was so bad. It was so bad.
I remember my first cannabis brownies. Like we just put the cannabis in there with butter. When you put it on the plate, you'd have a big green stain on your plate. And it'd be all, oh, we've come a long way.
Right. We really have. We really have been trying to hit this to ease my nerves a little bit. My alien teacup and pipe.
I love that. I didn't know. I saw your cup before, but I didn't notice it was a pipe.
Yeah, really. And then my son got me this. My son and his fiance got this for me. It's also
cool. I like that one.
Yeah.
So you recently started Women on Weed.
Yeah.
What's your vision for Women on Weed?
It's really, the main goal is for women to uplift, empower, and support other women, and to also bring some light on the various issues, like how even in cannabis, we are have a lesser numbers in executive positions than men. We're often paid less than our male counterparts. I know a lot of women in the cannabis industry that work really hard in the background, and their husbands or partners, the men in their organization, seem to get all the accolades while the women are just the support. And I mean, that's kind of been our role for a long time as women, but it's a new century and we deserve to get credit for our work and our contributions. Like, one of the things that is most upsetting to me, honestly, is like, I go places and I'll be mentioning to people that, like, I got to meet Lenny Sinclair, and I've got this print of hers back here of Abby Hoffman, and John's in the background. It's a great print. Yeah. And they'll be like, who? And I'm like, you've never heard of Lenny Sinclair? They've heard of John, because then you say John's name and they're like, oh yeah, I've heard of him. But, you heard of the man that went to prison, and you enjoy the hash bash every year and the protest on the Diag, but she was instrumental, since she was his wife at the time, in getting all of that started. And her name should be right up there along with his. It shouldn't just be the men. I mean, people even associate John Lennon with John Sinclair before they associate Lenny Sinclair with her.
You brought her up. I love her. And, she was the mama of, the White Panther Party. Her roots are pretty deep, and she's done so much.
Yeah.
In the
She's been an activist since before I was even born. You know, that photograph is from 69 and I was born in 68.
Yeah.
And she was out there really in the trenches, you know, doing the hard work. I mean, we think we're doing hard work now,
No.
but they were battling Vietnam. They were, you know, battling. I mean, we're getting there with the rights that they're trying to take away from women. I mean, they're trying to make us even more second class than we already are.
No.
You know, they're trying to turn back history on us. And I'm just glad that we still have activists like her with us, amongst us, to guide us and inspire us.
Yeah.
So that, you know, but it's time for us to take up the reins and do the work and try to get us further. You know, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she wasn't a cannabis woman, but she was all about women's rights and people's rights and equality and fairness, you know, and that's what I would like us to get back to. You know, I'd like more of us on our side and without the politics, and leave religion and all of that at the door and just bring our sisterhood and allow that to unite us.
Yeah, I'm glad to see how it's taking off momentum pretty quickly, you know. So we've I've met, you know, I've gained so many sisters through the years, you included, you know, because we all are here fighting the good fight, and it's gonna take the women, it's gonna take the moms and the grandmas to, you know, push that dial over on humanity, and we need to do it, because if we
Right.
don't, no one will.
Exactly. You know, well, I mean, I just hope that I was really happy to see how quickly it took off. So
Yeah,
I made
me
a
too.
post about it on my page like on a Thursday. And then I made like a little event, and all the people that have responded that they would go, that they would like it, I sent them an invite to come to my house. So it was like 18 women and 13 showed up. And so I was like, well, I'll make us a little Facebook group page.
Yeah,
And that was on Monday because the meeting was on Sunday. And by Wednesday, we were over 100 members.
yeah, that's great. Great.
Yeah, and I would really like to see this take off. It would be nice if we had women start their own like chapters in their areas and in other states too. So then, let's say you're visiting another state, you could look up women on weed in that state and
Yeah.
know where to find your sisters.
Right.
And hopefully be able to find a hookup. You know, we don't do that
Yeah.
in the group or in the chat, but members are free to network amongst themselves privately, and we encourage that because we want each other to support each other's businesses and know which businesses are the women-owned businesses. Like I tried to look up before this conversation, which of the dispensaries like in Flint are owned by women, you know, in Genesee County. And Bacco Farms claims to be owned by women, but I'm not certain. That's how it's written on Google, claims to be female owned, and Sweet Leaf as well. But I don't know if that's just still there from when like Kim Johnson owned it with her husband, Bob.
Yeah.
So
You know,
I don't
I
know.
was back in, when did it become legal? 2008?
For
I was one of the first
medical,
women.
2009,
Okay.
2009 for medical.
I was one of the first women that was involved and had my own club. It was ran more like a blind pig. And, you know, there were the compassion clubs and everybody's cafe back then. It was like the Wild West, like it is in every state when it's become legal. And I had WannaMed. You WannaMed?
Yeah.
And it was really awesome, but I got pushed out of the game. I got raided a bunch of times. I mean, I've been through blood, sweat, and tears. It was beautiful, but before its time. But because I was a woman, I got pushed out of the game. They didn't like my pricing. You know, they set the price limit. They went to that. I undercut them with better flour,
Yeah.
mainly flour back then, and when we were starting in oils, and they didn't like it. And boy, I got pushed out, and my family got torn apart through it. You know,
Uh,
so it's definitely a crazy industry to be in.
mhm,
Um,
mhm.
so you know, I know I'm not the only one that's that, but you know, you have so many, um, you know, that's why we definitely do need to do what you're doing because too much power. We need to get back to the caregivers who care about the patients. These dispensaries, you know, back in the day, tobacco was one of the four healing herbs. I
Right.
still grow it. You're supposed to bless all your herbs with tobacco. Look what they did to it. They're doing the
Mhm.
thing to cannabis right now. We don't really want legal. We want to abolish prohibition. We want full repeal. You know what I mean? Because people are
Mhm.
going to still go to jail. There's still going to
Mhm.
be, you know what I mean? We want it done. Like, I mean, we
Yeah.
already, cannabis is the most researched plant more than any pharmaceutical drug or anything on earth. Like, we have so much research. I've had it with, oh, we need more research. We've got
The
it. We've
pro-
had it. We,
the problem with that is most of the research has been done in Israel, where they have researched it for a long
yeah.
time. And I mean, and within our century, you know, in the last century, I mean, a lot of real scientific research. You know, they had all of their, they didn't have clinical trials thousands of years ago, and you know, they've really done that. But the United States doesn't uh, recognize their research.
Yeah.
It has to be, you know, done by them, and since it's been demonized, they wouldn't allow it. So they're just now allowing, you know, colleges and places to do research here, you know, or again, you know, they've done
I
it
mean,
covertly.
you know, they are just dragging their feet though. I mean, they made gay rights instantly overnight gay rights. You know what I'm saying? So like this is people's lives. This isn't
Hmm.
sexual. This is literally life.
Right.
They have they are like baby stepping. I'm so tired of the baby stepping and boy, I can imagine how Lenny feels, you know?
Right.
You know what
Right. Exactly.
I keep meaning to ask you, is your real name Mary Jane?
It's Jane. My
Okay.
real name is Jane, and but all my friends started calling me Mary Jane, which was better than any other nickname I had ever been bestowed
Right.
in the past. So,
Okay.
so I happily accepted it. So,
I love
yeah.
it.
Thank
I
you.
love it, but I know one woman whose name is Mary Jane and she's in her 80s and heaven forbid you call her Mary Jane because she doesn't want to be dressed that way, you
Oh,
know? So,
I wish I'd been named Mary Jane. Mary Jane Bunker is a good friend, and she ran Puff Puff Paint.
yeah, I know
Uh,
her.
yeah, and that I haven't seen her in a while. If
Me,
you're watching, if you're out there, if anyone's in contact with her, tell her I said hi and I miss her and I love her, and I tell her to reach
me
out.
too. I have not
I
seen her
haven't
in
seen
years.
hide nor hair. But
I
getting
love
back
Puff
to,
Puff.
yeah, yeah, I have a couple of really good paintings from there that I did. I did the One Love with Bob Marley, and I did the Grinch, and why that Grinch even stole all the Who hash. That's what it
Oh, that's
says.
a cool one.
Yeah. Um, getting back to the how they've demonized cannabis, you know, it's every beneficial plant, not just cannabis. It's also dandelions, and they called them all weeds. So we would stop growing them and kill them and and poison ourselves in the process by switching from natural to their pharmaceutical crap. So yeah, um, I'm all about natural now. I use a lot of CBD products. I've started working with terpenes. And terpenes, I mean, that's really, people don't even realize. They think it's all about the THC. And I'm like, nah, it's about the terpene profile. That's where you get a lot of your healing and your different effects.
Right.
So,
I
yeah,
mean,
it's an
that's my
amazing
favorite
plant.
part is the terpenes. Like I smoke for
Yeah.
the flavor, you know, like a
Mhm.
fine,
Mhm.
I'm all about the flavor.
Right. But, that flavor is even where the healing is. Like they have in Japan, one of their prescriptions is to go walk out into the forest and just walk and take deep breaths
Yeah.
because of the pining. In the forest, they have a lot of evergreens and they get healed. It heals them just breathing and being amongst,
I mean, I can attest to that
trees.
because I do it every day.
Yeah.
And my dog will not let me not. But you know, and I do that, and you're connecting. But yeah, I mean, I wish everybody could do it every day, just
Yeah.
at least 15 minutes. You know, it's healing.
Right. Take off your shoes, connect with the earth, connect with the plants,
Yeah.
connect with the life around you and within you. That's what it's all about.
Yes, it is. So what else? You got anything else you want to talk about cannabis wise?
Um, no, I think we covered everything. How long do you usually stay on?
I mean, I just kind of talk and see what happens. But you got any 420 plans for tomorrow?
I'm I think I'm gonna club hop a little bit between G3C, the Genesee County Compassion Club. That's where I really got my start in networking and knowing all the people that I know. Before cannabis, I was pretty lonely because I was sick. And pain and illness are isolating experiences. You feel like all you ever do is doctor's appointments. So that's all you ever talk about is doctor's appointments.
Yeah.
And you get along, even if you're in your 20s, really good with people in their 80s because they understand. But then I joined Compassion Club. The first one actually is Waterford Township Compassion Club.
So
Then there,
Candy and Bill?
Andy and
They
Bill.
are they the ones that owned that one? Because they had everybody's cafe, and then they
Yes,
opened.
okay, then yes. You know what, names? I'm better with faces with the cannabis.
Yeah,
And that was in 2009, the very
yeah,
end of 2009.
yeah.
And then we heard about G3C, Genesee County Compassion Club at Waterford. So I went
Okay,
to G3C because that was in our county, you
right.
know. And I met so many wonderful people and have remained and made so many great friends and connections. And for the first time, really in many, many years, I was part of a community and had friends again and went places and looked forward to life.
Yeah,
And that's one thing that the government doesn't really understand about how cannabis heals people, because it's not just the ingestion or the smoking or being able to use it topically. It is because it is a social plant and it brings you out of your shell and introduces you, the socialization was just as much a healing for me because I needed that support network. I needed those friends. I needed those connections. And now I have them, and I'm so grateful and blessed. And this plant has changed my life for the better in so many ways. I'm healthier, I'm happier, and I have a life worth living because of it.
yeah. You help a lot of people with, your knowledge, and that knowledge needs to be passed down and stuff. So that's good. What
I
you're
hope I do. From your lips, I hope
doing
I
good
do.
things. You're doing good things. I'm excited for you, and I'm excited to watch it grow. So
Thank you. I'm glad you're here to go along with us on this journey. Our next meeting is April 30th, and our topic is shrooms.
all right, and shrooms are just right up there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they're
So
very healing.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Good mesh there
yeah.
between shrooms and cannabis.
Do you want to mention your page at all to get anyone watching, like new women?
It's Women on Weed. Wow. Um, it's two W's. I can't do a W with my other hand. With a pot leaf in the center. And it says Women on Weed underneath like a smiley face. I am pretty sure it was in the promo,
Yeah, and
a
we'll put
picture of it. Yeah.
put a link or
So,
something down in
yeah,
the description.
Women on Weed. And then, of course, you have to be a woman to join the group. Anyone can like our page, male
Boys
or
allowed.
female. Yeah, but yeah, and not because we don't like you boys, but just because we need a space that's just ours. It's like our she shed.
We need a she shed.
That's right.
Well, I definitely will be having you back because we have a few different topics we want to talk about, and
Okay.
look forward to those. Enjoy your 420 tomorrow. I know I'm pulling out all my little skibbles to have some fun.
Oh, yeah. Yep, yep. You enjoy yours too, and hopefully we'll see each other at a Women on Weed event in the future. I know we've got some exciting things planned for the summer, some
Yeah,
offers to camp in some different areas. So
I'll
really excited.
definitely.
It's going to be good.
I will. I'll make it a point to make it down for sure when it gets
That
warm. Let's
Oh, yay.
go
That'll be great.
somewhere near the water. Like find us somewhere near the water, and we can go rock picking and foraging. And
That'll be one.
I look
Yes,
forward to it.
definitely. Definitely, definitely. It's easy to find the water because we're in Michigan, right?
Right. Exactly.
You have a
Okay.
great day. Thank you again so much for
You
having
too.
me on. It was truly my pleasure.
Mine too. It's nice to actually sit and actually see your face. So it's nice.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us, everyone. Chime in. We'd love to hear from you. Join us here live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And next, we'll be talking hemp and cannabis because Friday is Hemp Day. And we'll be with Anthony Cristo. And stay tuned. Enjoy 420 tomorrow, everyone that participates. And we will be back. See you later.
Okay.
Bye, Mary Jane.
Bye-bye.